Do you muddle anything?
Muddler, yeah, I got a muddler.
Right, let's get it all set up for you.
Hello.
Bitters. Quick toss.
Me.
Wait, is this the one thing? We're
Just all
rolling.
riffing like right up here.
We're rolling right now.
That's gonna be $8. You got a tab going? I remember how to do
These
this.
size cherries in Wisconsin. Holy
Yeah, well,
shit.
that's fine. Who does the Ultra bottle?
right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Levingood. This is Jaydn Sway Oils. Matty Rangel.
What's the segment? The soup of the week?
Soup of the day.
Soup of the day.
It's going to be a Wisconsin old-fashioned brandy sweet. Not to be interchanged with the old-fashioned. It's the Wisconsin old-fashioned.
Which means it has a...
A lot of shit, a
Obscene
lot of
amount of
weird
sugar,
stuff in
yeah.
there. All right, we're going to do a couple cherries.
Can I try one of those just for
Yeah.
the sake of trying?
Feed it to him.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my God, those are sucking motion too. All right,
Good.
and then we got an orange. We're gonna do some sugar because it's sweets. Do a little bit of sugar.
Okay, hold on.
A little more sugar.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Now
We're gonna do bitters.
That's funny right there.
A little bit of bitters in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Can't have it
muddle.
too sweet like me, you know.
We're gonna muddle that down.
Oh.
Good
God damn it.
old, I'm fucking up all around here. It's a soup, so it's got to be muddled.
The muddling came
Take
from
that.
the 1800s. It was Sir Winston Muddle.
Winston Muddle, yeah.
And he's the one that started the muddling.
Would never not be a classic Wisconsin old fashioned if it's not Korbel brandy.
Korbel brandy.
The number one seller of Korbel brandy, Wisconsin. We drink it all.
All right.
2 ounces of that.
Do they also make ice cream?
No, that's a Hormel. What are we doing here?
We're gonna toss it.
Oh, that's why you said you toss it.
We're gonna toss it. We're gonna toss it.
Extra toss.
And we're gonna toss it.
Can you toss it one more time?
Toss it one more time.
Totally
Thank you.
toss.
Thanks. 3 times the toss.
Triple toss. Goes, and we're good.
All right, Jaydn and I will try this.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, by all means.
Yes.
I really think that's a
third of the
good
way in there.
brandy old-fashioned
That is
Wisconsin
good.
style.
Wisconsin.
Nice
good.
and sweet. The brandy doesn't, it's fucking sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally hate it, but you know I'm from Wisconsin, so
I can see why you guys are all Packers fans.
I
up
have
there
to
now.
I have to fight people.
That's been this week's Soup du Jour
Soup du
with the
jour.
Poor People Podcast. Thanks, Matty.
That was the warm up, right? We're doing that again.
Just the burps. Yeah, okay. A burp reel. I like it. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Poor People.
I'm Haley.
I'm Anna.
I'm Jaydn.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here today at the Regal Beagle. And we're gonna have Cheeseburger on for our Patreon episode. So that'll be really cool. And dude, we're so excited to be here with you. Like, we watch your stuff all the time. We see all the stuff all the time. We're just like, it feels like we're in the presence of like bartender royalty in a way.
Actually,
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
I used to feel really weird, like when people would notice me and things like that. I mean, we had that last night.
Yeah.
Where somebody was just like, "Hey, you're the guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." So it's kind of normal now, even though it's like I feel like it's not like I don't want to be weird and be like, "Well, it's unwarranted. I'm not famous." And I'm
Right.
like, well, a lot of people have seen my face.
Yeah.
I guess with me, I just still feel like that small town,
Right.
hometown kind of guy. So
Do you
but
think
thank
people do you think people like subconsciously see your videos, think you're funny, or subscribe to your content or whatever, and then when they see you out and about, they're just like, like, why do I know that guy? But they can't like place it.
Yes, I get that a lot. With like, yeah, like, so there was somebody last night that was just like, "Yeah, you're a regular here, right?" And I was
Oh,
like, "No,
yeah.
I've never been to Des Moines in my life." And they're like, "No, you've been to this bar before." And I was like, "No, I haven't." They're like, "Why do I know you?" You've seen my face online, you know. But yeah, that, and a lot of people are very disappointed at my height.
Oh, really?
A lot of people are like, I thought you were 6 foot. And I'm like, no, I'm 5'8". It's fine. Like, this lady went on and on about it in Dallas. She was like,
How
I thought you were
short
like
you are.
6'2". And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, lady. I don't stand on fucking phone books and do my
Right.
videos. Like,
Yeah.
That's
I'm
also
just
just a
standing
weird
there.
thing for them to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, like good angles, I guess. I'm
Okay.
not trying to make myself look taller.
You know how? Oh, we should start it. We should coin a saying right here. Is you know how like when people say like the TV adds 5 pounds or whatever, we can say the bar adds 10 inches or
Oh
something.
my god.
I wish.
It kind of does though if you think about it. Because even when I like see you behind the bar, like it still feels like you are taller than me because I'm sitting at the bar.
Well, because
You know
you're
what I
sitting
mean?
down and I'm standing up.
But it's still a
I'm
tall
like
chair.
over something, right?
But it still feels like you're taller when you're
Okay.
behind the bar.
Well, as long as I look like
I'm
I'm,
just thinking
taller
for-
and I can still whip your ass, that's great.
It also it definitely adds to like the like, no, what's the word, like, you know, when somebody's trying to like be, you know, like an asshole, like your confidence goes through the roof, like, because
Right.
you're behind the bar and you're like, no, fuck you. But like if you were standing there with the same person and like this 6'2" tall guy I'm kicking out, like
Right.
if I have to come around the bar, like I need like 3 or 4 regulars with me to help kick them out, because I'm a different person on this side of the bar than on the other side of the bar. So
Right.
it gives you a lot of confidence too.
Yeah.
It does. Your little podium
It
back
adds
there.
10 confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, you're actually right about that. When you go out from behind the bar, I feel like I get smaller. I do. Yeah, because everyone is like so much bigger on the other side of the
Yeah.
bar. So that's definitely super.
Yeah, the
that's
bar
definitely
adds
a
10
thought.
inches.
Yeah.
It sure does.
And a level of confidence.
Well, I'm still Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, true.
So, some of our viewers can't place you yet. Can you just describe your content?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I'm the real Matty Rangel on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I just do dive bar, bartender content, funny videos, funny pictures, funny memes, things like that. Yeah. I was called a couple months ago in Phoenix. I was called the Internet's Emotional Support Dive Bar Bartender.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
I enjoy that one. So I try to do like, I do a lot of funny things, but I also keep it real with other videos. We all go through stuff. You know, I have Mental Health Mondays every Monday, and I try and do that. Try and do a check-in with people, and you know, because this industry isn't just, you know, pouring drinks and having fun and getting drunk. A lot of it, you know, I can be sitting next to somebody or bartending next to somebody who just lost their dad or their, you know, their son or something like that, and you know, you have to sit there and make them feel better about their life, but then when you go home afterwards, you hold on to that, and if you hold on to that for too long, you know, it starts to mess with your mentality and your well-being with that stuff. So I try to do a combination of a lot of funny stuff and you know, relatable things, but also, you know, dark stuff as well. You know, I also love dark humor too, so I do some of that as well.
It's cool that you do that because from the beginning, we've kind of faltered a little bit away from it, I would say, just recently, just because of, you know, traveling and whatnot. But we've always said that like mental health is such a big part of this industry. And we started off talking about it like quite a bit, but we really haven't in a while if you think about it. But have you, I guess, what, like, do you live stream during that? Do you just like get people's questions, like, or do you like just, is it something you do at the bar? Like, how do you do Mental Health Mondays?
So I usually just post a video, and it almost always starts. One of my friends actually was like, I'm gonna do like a bit of you, like I'm gonna act like you in a video, and it'd be kind of funny. And he was like, you know how you always start off Mental Health Mondays, and I always do it. I say, what's up, y'all? You know what it is. It's Mental Health Mondays. In case you're new to Mental Health Mondays, this is where we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, like everything that's going on within the industry, even if you're not in the industry. That's basically how I start the entire video, always. But so it's kind of just, you know, somewhat of a script, but somewhat not. Sometimes I talk about what's going on in my life, if there's good things going on, if there's, you know, if there's something that's draining, you know, my social battery and things like that. But, you know, I always try to end it positive and just kind of end it with, you know, just comment on this video and just say you'll be here next week. I need you guys. I want you guys to be here next week. And it just gives people a little bit of, a self accountability. It kind of started with my friend Riggs. He has a charity for mental health awareness, and I was like, I should do something like that too. And it started off with a very dark humor joke with me and one of the my bar owners. Her name's Sam at the Void. We talked about how we had a suicide pact. If you do it, I do it. And every time she'd be like, today's the day, I would be like, the Brewers are going on a 3-game series with the Mets. It's really tough this week. Like, can we push it off next week? And she's like, fuck you, fine. And so it kind of started off with just like, can we push it back a week? Can we push it back a week? And like, it's just that accountability of like, if somebody has those thoughts and those feelings, like, they're gonna do it. But if they have something, even just one friend being like, you know what, hey, tell me you're going to be here next week, and they say that might help them hold on at least one more week.
Yeah, it's really nice for you to have your online like outlet for that, and your viewers.
Yep. And to even have it at work too, because have you ever worked with one of your really good friends? You're like, okay, if you quit, I'll quit too. Like, I can't work here without you.
Yeah.
And it's like things like that are fun too. But you guys can also have that relation where you guys both work together, and you're like, God, I just had this guy, and you're like, oh God, I dealt with him last week. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, what can we do to make us like him more? What can we do to make it not be such a crappy situation, or for us to not get annoyed with this person so easily, because he does the same thing with all of us girls. So we've like come up with a solution to little things like that, and that's nice to work around that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I quite literally had my bar manager right now at the Void, her name's V. We've followed each other to this is our 3rd different bar together, and we've quit at pretty much the same time the other 2 times. And we finally found a place that like we both love, and they treat us well. And the other places, like one of the places we both walked out, she opened the bar and I was supposed to close the bar. I came in to close the bar, and she was like, he's being a racist piece of shit again. And I was like, let's leave. And we both left.
Good.
And we both walked out, and the regulars closed that bar that day. Yeah.
No kidding.
Good for you for doing that, and taking care of yourself and each other.
Yeah.
I also want to say it's really important to like take breaks when you need it, because in this industry we are very like go. Like we have to, work the shift that we're used to working every week, but like it's okay like to take a break when you need it.
Yeah. Especially when you're falling out of love with it, because sometimes I catch myself falling out of love with bartending. I love bartending, but sometimes it's just, you need to take a break, or else you're not going to want to go to work. Like, I love going to work, and then some days I'm just like, I can't even open that door. I don't even want to be here. And when I'm not in a good mood to work, that it affects everyone else. It affects how much money I make and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where you do have to take a break, but you also have to realize, like, I do love doing this. It's just not a good day today, and that's okay.
Bartending is very fulfilling in a lot of ways, but it's also very draining in a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
You walk behind the bar, you're on stage.
Yeah.
You're completely on stage. And that's the thing, is that, being an actor, it has a lot of parallels with bartending because of that thing. But like, I can go on stage in a theater production and have a bad night. That's going to affect the person watching me. Same thing with bartending. I can go and I can bartend and have a bad night. That's going to affect the customers that are going to come back, that are tipping and everything. And I'm not going to money is a big factor. So a lot of the times, if you're having a bad night and you walk behind that bar, no, you're not. You're paying the fucking bills.
Right.
So you're suppressing that shit. And then at the end of the night, you lock the fucking doors and you have a breakdown.
And you have a good cry.
Yeah.
I like to scream after I lock the doors.
Yeah, literally.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Scream in the walk-in.
Oh yeah, no. One of my old coworkers used to scream after their shifts.
Oh yeah, as soon as I closed the
literally
door, it's like
you
a
could
bad
hear
night.
him outside the door, like right when I would, like, if I was there and he was like, no, I want everyone out, I'd shut the door, and we'd actually stand outside to listen to him scream,
Yeah.
just to see if he'd
Yeah.
actually do it, and he did it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've laid into like the Pepsi boxes like like the
okay.
syrup boxes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the
Oh
syrup
my
boxes.
god,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like, because like I don't know, like if I go in the, I always am afraid that if I go into the cooler and just like scream, I'm afraid somebody's gonna hear me and think I'm like being murdered or something, and then it's a whole charade, and it's embarrassing, whatever.
Murdered by the Coors Light.
But I can go into the back and like smash the shit out of a Pepsi box, and then just the people will be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just really need Pepsi." Like it's a long day, dude. Leave me alone.
I did just see a TikTok the other day that said bartending is just 90% theater to me, and I
Yeah.
thought that was hilarious.
That
and
is.
so relatable.
I just want to be an actor.
Yeah, I went back to school at 25 to go to college, and I knew I wanted to be an actor since I was 7 years old. I saw my dad, and he was one of the most phenomenal actors I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was like, well, that's what I want to do, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be, from a different timeline. Like I just wanted to be all these different things when I grew up. And with theater and acting, you can do that. And I saw my dad do that. My dad walked on stage, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And I was like, wow, that's cool. I want to do that. So I did that. And so I went back to college a little bit late and started pursuing my acting career. And I bartended my way through college, and I was like, I told everybody because I was the 25-year-old with, younger kids. I was, and they're like, how do you how do you make money? And I'm like, I bartend, and it's great money, one, and two, I can go back there and work on my craft. I can be a different person behind the bar. And I'm like, I tell everybody, if you're in this, if you're in the acting industry, go bartender, go serve, because it's good, quick money, and it helps hone your craft as well. There's really good parallels. And I think there's a few different jobs. Acting, I think, teaching also. Like teachers are really good bartenders, because when they get up in front of the classroom, they're on stage too. So, and they know how to herd a bunch of incompetent, dumb people sometimes in a classroom, and you take that, and sometimes we're in a classroom herding dumb drunk people around. So
It's very
We
true.
call it adult daycare.
Yep.
Do you think with your acting like skills and abilities, when you bartend, do you ever play a character and you're just like, oh, like, hold up 1 second, like, just bear with me, I'm gonna play this character all shift to like your regulars or anything?
I
like,
used
"Good sir."
I used to a lot of the times. I would, if it was kind of slow, I would go around and recite my lines in my head to just like practice them. I'm gonna burp a lot. Sorry. To practice my lines, and I would literally talk to my coworkers beforehand and like my regulars and be like, "Hey, I'm not just whispering to myself. I'm like, I'm reciting my lines.
I'm not
out
crazy."
loud."
And
If you see me doing if you see me doing a face or something, like, especially I'm reciting Shakespeare, I look like a madman.
So I guess, is that like kind of how your reels got started? Is that you had this love for acting and you're bartending, and you're are you doing it more to like put yourself out there as an actor, or sorry, I said it all weird. As an actor,
Very proper.
or are you doing it to like set yourself out there as an actor? Jeez, I can't even do it again. Okay, or a bartender. Jeez, I'll just cut to the point.
So my end goal has always been, like I said, I was 7 years old when I decided I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. When I'm acting, when I'm behind the camera, film, TV, theater, any of that stuff, it's not work. It's not work for me. I'm in my element. I love what I'm doing, and I don't want to. I still have to pay the bills, but I would do that shit for free in a heartbeat. I love doing that stuff, and it doesn't feel like a job to me. Bartending still feels like a job.
Yeah.
It's a means to an end. Even, it's really good money. It's awesome, and I love it, and I love doing it. I get to hang out with people and, you know, drink with them and have them have, you know, fun, be the life of the party, be what they need in that moment. And then they give me money, lots of it, and I can pay my bills with it and do that stuff. But when I'm doing stuff, when I'm doing skits, when I'm filming myself or filming my friends, and like we're putting together a thing and I do that and I post it online, that's just such a different feeling that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have an agent in Chicago. I'm actually tomorrow going to be taking a couple hours to do some auditions for my agency, just to do some audio auditions, because that's
For like the next like Martin Scorsese flick, or is it like
I hope so. I was almost in a Budweiser commercial. That was fun.
nice?
Didn't get it, but it's okay.
They gave it to
Thanks,
Post
Budweiser.
Malone and Shane Gillis instead.
I'm drinking a Busch Light right now. So. No, it's really fun, and I love doing that. But there's also a reason why I'm at all three of the bars that I'm at, the Floyd, Old MKE, and Pub in Wisconsin, because those bar owners know that that's not my life, and they love that. We actually have a lot of people that are part-time that have different careers. One of my coworkers, Liz, is an amazing photographer. She has a photography business. She does weddings and shoots, and she has like, I know you probably can relate to this. Like, there's a busy season and a slow season with photography, and she does a lot of weddings. And so when that wedding season comes up, everybody else in the company steps up and helps her, let her do the weddings. Like, she never turns down weddings because she has a bartending shift to cover. We figure it out for her.
Yeah.
And same thing with me, is they know that I want to do this stuff, like these things. Like, I just booked Tales of the Cocktail. My friend Chandler from her card game, she sent me a text an hour ago and was like, hey, you're booked. You got a free room. I got you a bartending gig. You just got to pay for your flight. And I was like, I'm booking it right now. And
Nice.
I looked at my schedule and I was like, shit, I got to shift one of those days. And I went, it is what it is. The bar owner is gonna figure it out and cover it. You know, B, Tom, and Badger have to figure it out. But that's the thing, is that I went in with all three of these owners, 4 or 5 of them, all three of these bars, with the statement of like, hey, this isn't my life. This is what I want to do. I want to act for the rest of my life. If something comes up, no matter how last minute, you're going to have to figure it out or fire me. And they were like, we're not firing you. You're figuring it out.
Nice.
Like, it's really awesome to have those kind of bar owners that, you know, they own the bar. They don't own you.
Right.
And that's what I always try to give a lot of advice to other younger people in the service industry, is that you're not owned by that bar.
Right.
You can go wherever. Like, there have been places where they're like, okay, you can work here, but you can only work here.
Yeah.
And my bars don't play that.
Right.
Their biggest thing is, you know, if you're looking for outside help, let us know. We'll try and give you more shifts.
Yeah.
We'll try and figure it out. But also, at the end of the day, if you want to go work somewhere else, go work somewhere else. Like, that bar is paying my rent, but I can pay my rent at any other different places as well.
Yeah.
And they know that, and they want to keep the good people that are bartending. Liz has been there since day one. She's been there since day one with them. And, you know, they know that, and that sort of loyalty goes both ways.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of bad bar owners think that loyalty only goes one way, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Definitely.
So when you bartend, do people recognize you when they come in, and do people actually specifically come in just to see you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, so my town has about 75,000 people in it.
Okay.
So it's pretty fucking small. So a lot of people just, like, they see me and they're like, oh shoot, that's my hometown. That's the bar down the street. That's the bar that I went to last week. And then they'll walk in and be like, hey, you're the TikTok guy. And I'm like, yeah. And that's about it.
That's it? They don't
It's
ask you
not
for
like
an
a
autograph or
no.
anything? Dang
It's not like a starstruck, like, oh my God. Type of thing.
Okay.
That's usually only when I go to, like, other places, you know, up to Milwaukee or things like that. Or, like, you know, when I travel Cincinnati and things and here, I'll get people that are like, what the fuck? But every now and then, like, there was a bar that I didn't go into in 15 years. And I went in there like 2 Sundays ago because my cousin was hanging out there. He was doing a Sunday fun day there with his wife, and I walked into the bar, and the bartender gets me a beer, and she's older lady, 60s, maybe 70s, and super nice, super sweet. She gets me a beer, and she's running around doing a bunch of stuff, and then she comes back for my second beer, and she's like, I gotta ask you, are you that guy? And I'm like, yeah, it's me. And she's like, no, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm like, yeah. I know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. It's me. And she was like, you're the Facebook guy. You come up on my Facebook all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, oh my God. And she was just picking up a shift.
Yeah.
So she was like, I never knew you went to this bar. And I was like, I don't go to this bar. She's like, oh, I work Mondays and Wednesdays. Come down here. And she's like, I didn't know you lived in Racine. Like, so it was just like, it's still, I've been doing this stuff since 2022, and still people in my hometown are like, oh my God, you're from Racine? Like, you're in this small little town with me? Yeah, been here 35 years.
Yeah.
So you're from Racine, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Did you started doing like your social media stuff in 2022?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. It was, so I graduated with my theater degree a month before the pandemic hit. So I just said, well, when the world opens back up, I'm going to continue to bartend. So I also have a background with the theater. I have extensive background in carpentry as well. So when everything shut down and they started paying people to do stuff, one of the bars that I owned, he actually owned 4 bars. So he took all of his employees and he got that PPP loan or whatever it was to be able to pay us to fix up his 4 bars. And with my carpentry experience, like I refinished his entire, it's a 100-year-old bar top. I sanded it down and refinished the entire thing with somebody else, and did that to another one of his businesses, and built his broken deck outside, like fixed that and did stuff like that. So I did that stuff until it was safe to open back up. I think we opened back up early June of 2020 for like 25% capacity and things like that. And then we started kind of bartending, and that slowly started ramping up after that. So I continued to bartend throughout the world shutting down and then slowly opening up. And then I did that for, that year and a half.
Was that like when you started bartending?
I started bartending in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I bartended my way through college from 15 to 20.
Gotcha.
Everything shut down. My plan was to stop bartending in 20 and start acting full time in 2020. But the world had other plans. So when that happened, I just continued to bartend. But I still had that like yearning of like, all right, not that I want to get out of the industry, but this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I was like, I need an outlet. I need an outlet to do what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I was after barring, as you do after you close the bar down for the night at 3, 4, 5 in the morning with a couple other industry friends who also have a background in my buddy Cadillac. He was in Second City in Chicago for a while.
Oh, nice.
And then one of my friends, Dan, is a huge, big film buff, and he went to school for film. Cool. They're the ones that are most of the guys that are in my video are those 2 guys.
Oh, okay.
Josh has the long hair with the glasses, no beard. Dan has the beard. So we're probably drunker than a skunk at 5 in the morning in a dark bar, talking about like, well, we should do something. We should try to find this outlet. And I was like, I've never been on TikTok, and I've never even scrolled on TikTok. There's another one. I've never been on TikTok. I've never scrolled on TikTok, but
Still?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was back in 2022.
Okay, I was like,
now
dude,
I doom
you're
scroll
killing
every
it
5
on
minutes.
TikTok.
Did you even know?
But yeah, I was telling them, I was like, I don't do TikTok, but let me download it. I hear it's easy to edit videos on TikTok, so let me just download it and see. So I downloaded it when I got home from after barring, probably 6, 7 in the morning. Fell asleep, woke up at fucking 2 p.m., hungover and shit. Text my buddy Dan and Josh, and I was like, hey, I have this idea for a video. And Dan was like, I'm so fucking hungover on my shift right now. Nobody's in here. Come in and we'll do it.
Nice.
So I came in and it was simple. It was a 15-second bit of him like popping up from behind the bar, and we have this thing in Wisconsin called bar dice. And he's popping up from behind the bar and slams a dice down, and he's like, dice? And then he comes out from the closet, he slams the dice down, and he's like, dice? And then I walk out of the bathroom, and he's standing right there, and he's like, dice? And he slams the dice down. And we filmed it, edited it, and posted it all within like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, that was kind of easy. Not thinking anything of it. The next day we had 38,000 views. Like everybody was freaking out about it. They were like loving it. And I posted it on Facebook. This was before Reels too. I just posted the TikTok video on Facebook, and that hit 500,000 views. And I was like,
Damn.
okay, this is the outlet.
Yeah.
Like we can do these like creative ideas and videos, gear them towards bartending a little bit, and like it, you know, get that tingly fucking feeling that I have when I'm on stage or behind the camera, and post it online and do that. And kind of, you know, again, I would do this for free, but now they're, you know, paying me a little bit to, you know, post these videos and do this stuff. So I'm taking it as more of a job. And, you know, it's silly to be like, oh yeah, like I trained in theater and I you know, I was Iago in Shakespeare, but, I'm known as the fucking TikTok bartender now. And I'm like, you know, it is what it is. Like if you talk to fucking Flo from Progressive, she was a serious actor and was in movies and stuff, and then she got Flo from Progressive, and she's like, I got millions of dollars. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it's really cool to like be able to, you know, like, yeah, do I want to do fucking Shakespeare at Chicago Shakes? Like, yeah, that would be awesome. But also, like, you got to start somewhere.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the thing, is that it stalled out so much during COVID and everything opening up afterwards, that I was like, you know, I took the approach of, we were actually in the bar at, you know, 5 a.m. talking about this. I took the approach. I was like, the Always Sunny in Philadelphia guys, they were the same thing. They were acting and not getting any jobs. And Rob was like, dude, let's just make a pilot of something of us just here,
Garçon.
hanging out and you know, shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And they did that. And I kind of said the same thing when I wanted to do the TikToks. I was like, dude, if the work's not coming to us, let's go to the fucking work and let's make it happen. You know, so I kind of took that approach and did that, and you know, it's kind of worked out.
That's a really good analogy to use. It's Always Sunny for you specifically, because
there's like literally like I
love
told
those
them,
guys.
I've told them, so they had, I don't know if you guys know their brand, they're Four Walls.
Okay.
They have an Irish American whiskey. I have never tried it because it came out after I stopped doing hard alcohol, but everybody I've told about it and sampled it to, they love it. It's not in Wisconsin yet, but they sent me a bottle because their PR person was a fan of mine, and she's a super awesome person. She's really cool. She was like, she wanted to reach out, and she's like, hey, we're not in Wisconsin yet, but I want to talk to you because when we get into Wisconsin, I think you would vibe with what we do. And I was like, well, that's because I started all of this because of your guys's, like, I took your playbook. I stole your guys's playbook. And she was like, that's crazy. That's wild. So I have a really good relationship actually with, I've never really talked with
Rob
them,
McElhenney.
but we're best friends. You know, Charlie.
Dude,
Day.
come out.
Yeah.
Mac, we need you.
But yeah, I literally told them, I was like, I'll make 100 videos for you guys if you just give me one line in an episode.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, you know, they're great people, and you know, everybody that they hire also are awesome people. I actually probably will go down and meet their team for the first time down in New Orleans with Tails.
That'll
be
be so
super
cool.
But
So
yeah,
cool.
it's just I stole their playbook kind of, and it was really funny that they were like, you would mesh well with us. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a
Makes
reason.
sense, right?
I just love It's Always Sunny so much. Okay, but on that note, I've been kind of thinking about this. So your content is primarily like bartending stuff. Have you done like sketches and skits that are outside of bartending?
Yeah, I have. I don't necessarily try to do that because it is very specific to like if you have a niche, like that's
Right.
what's gonna go. Like that's the reason why people are following you.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
There we go.
because that's what I was thinking is like if you posted, like if we did a comedy sketch that had nothing to do with bartending, do you think it would have the same reaction as your bartending content?
I feel like you're setting yourself up to kind of fail sometimes when you don't do the things that are in your niche, but also like that's okay. Like I feel like I did something like the other day that absolutely was not like in my bartending niche, and I was like, I don't care. You
Right.
know?
Because that's
something.
I think that's
Interesting.
very much how I've always been too, is like we have a very specific niche of bartending, but when it comes to our branding and marketing, it's just like grunge and dirt and whatever. So it's like I think about that often, is like if we did a poor people, I don't know, whatever, a broom,
Yeah.
like a poor people merch broom, like how would we market that and like what would we do, you know, or whatever,
Yeah.
something like. And so, yeah, I was just thinking, like, if you did something outside of bartending, do you think it would be received the same? Or you would still just be, you know, the bartending content Facebook guy?
So I actually yesterday I did a video that was outside of my niche because it was all over my For You page. I don't know if it's on all of your For You page, but the gray or blue couch lady. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I think I,
have
did.
seen that,
I
yeah.
think I did.
This lady has a gray couch and she's trying to gaslight us and say it's fucking blue, just like that dress.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. And I'm like, there's no way, like that couch is gray. And then I'm sitting there in bed yesterday and I was like, I have a gray couch, but I have this chair that I've always said is blue. It's as blue as your shirt, your dress.
Are you okay?
Like I'm dead serious. I'm like, it's blue 100%. But then I'm like, now this lady has me like second guessing myself. So I made a video and I like showed my gray couch and was like, that's gray 100%. And then I turned to the chair and I'm like, that's blue, right, guys? And then I grab the pillow off of it and I bring it over to the couch and I put it down and I'm like, well, now I think it's gray because it looks kind of gray when it's on the couch. And I'm like, I have no idea. And then I go to my cat tree and I'm like, this is 100% blue. And then there's people in the comments telling me that my cat tree is gray too. They're like, all three of those are gray. And I'm like, there's no way. I swear to God, I have a blue cat tree. But
You have
so,
a blue cat,
yeah.
too. That's crazy.
So yeah, I did that video, which is 100% not in my niche. And it, you know, I only posted it to TikTok and it got like 2,500 views,
Yeah.
which is like crazy low for me. Usually if
That's like
it's,
what we average usually.
like for me, it's like 5,000 to 10,000 is like low for me. Sometimes things just don't go well. There are like niches and things that I do, or like trends that I do that only get like 2,000 or 3,000 views, 1,000 views, something like that. But it's really hard to like not get 5,000 views for the amount of people that follow me. There's at least going to be like 5,000 people that at least see it. But yeah, that video right there, I was like, this I knew for a fact. I was like, this one's probably going to be low. Like this isn't gonna go viral at all.
Yeah. Are you usually good at predicting which of your videos are going to do really well? And have you ever been like surprised that one of your videos didn't do as well?
In the beginning, yes. Now I'm just like, there are times where like I've been doing a video with Josh and Dan, and I'm laughing my fucking ass off, and I'm like, this is so stupid, and we're like, we don't even care if it gets views. We're having fun,
Yeah.
and this is fucking funny to us.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Like Josh came up with this thing a couple years ago. He'll just text me random shit. Like he'll literally be like, guy in blue jeans, purple red cowboy hat.
That's me and
And
Mike.
and it'll just jog his memory for next time.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what's with the fucking purple cowboy hat? And he's like, oh, okay, so this is the idea.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell me the idea. It's just a great placeholder. But he texts me and he just goes, I'll tell you later. It's al dente. That's it. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he bartends at a bar that's like 3 blocks away from my house. So I got off my shift, dropped my car off, and I walked over to the bar. And it's like 1 a.m. And I walk over to the bar where he's bartending, and I'm like, okay, what's this is al dente thing? Like, I gotta know. And he's like, okay. So, and he tells me this fucking idea where he's like, yeah, so you're just talking to me, and you're like, when's the last time that rag got washed? And he goes, it's al dente. And he grabs it and he throws it at the wall, and it sticks to the wall. And I was like, how are we gonna film this? But that's hilarious.
That's really good.
Fast forward to 4 a.m. We're putting a hot bar rag, like steaming hot bar rag, into the freezer to try and freeze it so we can stick it on the wall. One of our other bartender buddies gets done at 4 a.m. and he wanders over, sees that, goes to see if we're after barring. He comes over and he's like, I got fishing wire in the back truck. So he goes, gets his whole fucking setup, and we put it at the closet door. He hides in the closet with his fishing line, and he holds it up while we film it. And we're just like, this is the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but we're like crying, laughing. And we're like, this isn't gonna get views. Like, this is dumb, but we're having so much fun right now. And like, yeah, just examples like that of just like, a lot of the times it's just like we're having fun with each other, our friends, and if it goes viral, it goes viral. If not, like I
still love it.
Yeah. I there are rare occasions where I've put like a serious amount of effort into something and it's flopped. There are things that I've done that have been like slightly disappointing, but like other than that, like I'm having fun with my friends. Like it's the, again, back with the Sunny guys, like they don't give a shit, man. They're fucking, as long as they're on the air, they're getting paid and they're with their best friends, like they're having a ball, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's not a job,
That's
If
like
I'm-
us.
Yeah. If I'm hanging out with my friends, like
I'll just sit over here.
Oh, you're here?
Air
I didn't
five.
even realize you were here, dude.
Oh, he has his microphone.
Yeah, no, that is cool though. So do you film most of your content after bar close then?
I used to. A lot of the times when we had our like best ideas, especially Dan and Josh, it would be like after bar, and we'd be like, all right, let's do this real quick. I've turned into sort of a curmudgeon of sorts of like, I don't close the bar anymore. Bartending, I like my 3 to 8, 4 to 9 shift, and I
Solid
like being
shifts.
on the other side of the bar at bar close, and then 2:30
Help you
hits.
put up
And
chairs,
I'm like,
maybe.
I kind of don't want to do anything. So a lot of the times now I film before we open. A lot of my places open at 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. So I usually film around like noon or something like that.
Gotcha.
Which is, you have a little less liquid lubrication with the ideas at that time of day, which it's good and bad. I have more focus with my videos now, where I'm doing more polished content instead of just you can tell those guys are drunk at 4 a.m. having
Right.
fun. But like there are times where like, yeah, that's like, live your fucking life, man. Have fun. But so it's kind of it transitioned to doing more after bar to doing more before the bar opens now. But I definitely have done both in the past month.
Yeah.
So
So
it just kind of depends.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said that your friends have helped you come up with the design on your shirt. Can you actually show us
Yeah,
your
can we
shirt?
see the shirt?
Yeah.
Dude. I knew you were saying fuck you to me the whole time.
Love it. What's the back?
So the front says "fuck you," and then the back says "tip me."
Hell yeah.
Hell
That's amazing.
yeah, dude. That is so sick. I like the
Need
middle
it.
fingers too, because that's exactly like our douche of the week.
Yeah,
We have the
yeah.
middle fingers on
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
on our
No, it's
douche of the
awesome.
week.
I like how
Yeah.
it's the 86th.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, 86 in there. My friend Saul actually made that logo. which is specific to the shirt. But also,
It's pretty sick.
speaking of, I have a surprise for you guys. You
Okay.
guys get the first ever newest addition to my merch.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yay.
If we can, I'd love you guys to close your eyes. I want to get a natural
okay,
reaction
okay,
to this.
For sure,
Okay.
for sure. How do we use both hands?
Yeah,
One
I'm
hand?
like, I'm uncomfortable.
I know. I'm
No cheating.
I'm afraid
Okay.
to talk
Wait.
into the microphone.
Like this.
I don't like surprises.
I feel like I can't
We
see
have to hold our
anything.
hands out.
I feel really
No, you're
vulnerable
fine. I'm going
right
to put them in
now.
front of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Anna, keep your
What?
hands to
I
yourself.
feel a presence near me.
Anna won't stop
Okay.
touching me.
On three.
That is a lie.
Okay.
On three, open your eyes and unwrap your gift.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, there's something in here.
Yeah. Ooh, it's very soft. Not the
Is
inside.
it the spotted cow?
You did this
Oh
on
my
purpose. You son of a bitch.
You have to do it.
This is bullshit.
Oh my God.
You told us. I was so excited to
Wait.
get that shirt.
There's no t-shirts.
This is
Hey,
this is
guys.
a really cool design.
You guys, I knew about it. I knew
Why
about
the
it.
hell?
Wait, so do we get a Regal Beagle shirt?
No, we have to give those back.
These are very soft shirts,
Dude,
by the way.
this is bullshit. I'm pissed now.
Why? I like
We-
Regal. We got a Regal Beagle
We all
shirt.
just got iced.
So yeah,
We've been planning this
did
for a
you
while.
actually bring this like in
Real
your carry-on,
mature,
or-
guys. Real mature.
No,
dude.
I had
Okay.
a co-conspirator.
This is a bad mistake.
Fine.
Let's send him back.
Cheers.
Get the plane ticket back here. Cheers.
Oh,
Do we,
cheers.
Cheers,
are we gonna
guys.
actually ice ourselves? On,
What?
I mean,
Yeah,
we,
you have to
I
chug 'em.
guess.
we have to.
Chug
Do I have
it.
to take a knee?
Guys,
No,
I think we
we're
could
already
sit here and
taking a
drink
knee.
it. I'll finish my Busch Light.
I told myself I was sober for the next week. I'm not doing this.
You came to a party where we're giving out free beer if you're subscribed.
Oh my God.
Crushed
Cheers.
it.
Wait,
Hang on. Excuse me.
Anna.
What?
Cheers.
Anna did it.
Holy shit, Anna.
Yeah, no, if you're sober.
Well,
I thought you
Anna
were
has it.
sober this week.
Anna hasn't drank since 11 o'clock this morning.
No, I haven't tasted
I
one of
mean-
those in fucking.
Did you
10
finish it
years,
already,
so-
too?
Yeah, she finished it.
Oh.
and now I'm drunk. No, I used to win
I'm
chugging
pissed I
contests.
didn't get a shirt. Sorry to interrupt.
I did at a keg stand, which is no longer a bar anymore.
Uh-huh.
And one of our friends used to do the British bingo. And he would always have me chug one of my favorite Belgian beers there. It's called a Fruly. And
I think it's pronounced truly.
No, it's Fruly. It's a beer.
Shut up, Jaydn.
And well, he's just gonna look like a dumbass because that's basically what the beer is called. Anyways, I have a video of me chugging
It's truly.
one, but not two beers. And
Of these bad boys?
No,
These bad
of-
mamma jammas?
no, of the strawberry Belgian beer, it's called Fruly. And I had chugged two of them, and oh my god, I thought I was gonna throw up.
Yeah.
But I did it. So
I apparently I found out that they don't ice people on on the West Coast. They tea people with twisted teas.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Ew.
that sounds so much better than Smirnoff Ice.
I don't know what I was
No.
thinking.
I had so much
when you-
Smirnoff Ice, like getting iced. It was
Well,
a fucking staple.
I think the idea is that like they're easy to drink, so you can drink them really fast. But
Yeah.
like if getting teed was a thing, I would be the champion of that because I can down those things like it's my fucking job.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
I don't like
euphemism.
tea though,
Yeah.
I
so I
love-
wouldn't drink it.
I love iced tea, but I can't buy them because if I do, I will literally
Drink
like
all
I
of them in
can't
one
just
night.
I can't just drink like
yeah,
a
you can
sip
chug
of it.
fucking six of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I like have to chug it. I'll take like a sip and I'll be like, wow, that's really good. I love iced tea, and then I'll chug the whole thing.
Yeah. No, that was like me and Tully back in the day when I did Tully. Just like, I can chug this.
Wait, what's Tully?
Tullamore Yeah.
I was
yeah.
thinking Tully. Tubs.
I have since retired from drinking hard alcohol and Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, can we ask why? Is there a reason, or is it just a personal preference, or is there like a?
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason. It's simple and straightforward. I thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing 30, 40, 50 Jager bombs a shift.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It
Let's
was
touch on that pronunciation really fast.
Jager. Jager bombs. But yeah, I was doing too much.
Yeah.
I was drinking way too much, and
And
I
it
had
had
to-
to be Jaeger or
it didn't have to be like, but it was it was a lot of shots, on shift and off shift.
Yep.
And there were a lot of times where I was just a drunk mess for 2 days afterwards, and just hung over as shit and just laying in bed till 10 p.m. and then waking up and getting hammered till 7 a.m. and then doing shit over and over again. And I didn't like where my life was going, so I just decided, I was like, I have no problem with saying that, I am and will always be an alcoholic. Even if I quit 100% everything, you are still an alcoholic your entire life, and that's okay. There's no bad stigma to that. Like, there are people that have, are 10 years sober and they still consider themselves an alcoholic because if they have one sip, they're going downhill. And to know that and acknowledge that, and to just, be real with myself and just like, I'm cutting something out. Yeah. Is it everything, and it's, I have people, especially online with my following, that there are people that are just like, well, you're not, you're just chugging 30 beers now. Like, it's the same thing. And a lot of that, it's like, it's not. Like, one, it's my journey. It doesn't matter. If I cut something out, I cut something out, and that's okay. I never say that I'm sober, because I'm not sober. I'm drinking a beer right now.
Yeah, like the whole California sober thing in my head is just a huge joke. It's like, it's kind of like a middle finger to like people actually in sobriety, I feel like.
A lot of it is, I like to use the word clean instead of sober.
Right.
I'm hard alcohol clean. And like, that's the thing, is that like, I think people can say like, yeah, they're California sober, they're clean from, their drug of choice. I'm clean from meth or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's okay. It's a lot of the times it's, there's somebody who, was on my page that, was like, yeah, like I was a raging alcoholic forever. And like, now I have maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine every other month. And she's like, I consider myself sober. And I'm like, that's okay. And that's fine. Like, if you have your terminology for something, absolutely. But it's, for me, I still like the word clean, versus sober. But like, I call myself Wisconsin sober sometimes as well. But that's not to like, knock or negate like people that like, are completely sober from alcohol. And like, also like, a lot of people see that word sober and they use it for just alcohol. Like, my ex-girlfriend is absolutely sober. She's sober from her drug of choice, which was not alcohol. And she can absolutely call herself sober. She's like almost over 3 years sober from the substance that she used to use. And I would 100% never be like, no, you can't call yourself sober. Like, you absolutely can.
yeah.
I guess I agree with that. I just think more in terms of like when people are using it as like a joke, like, I'm California sober, but it's like, they're just like, whatever. I feel like that's where it kind of is like, there's like that stigma behind it where it's like, you're not, but it's like, it's like making light of it, of a serious situation, I guess.
A lot of people too is that like, where's the ending? Because there can be somebody who does not do any drug and alcohol at all, but they drink caffeine. Technically, they can't call themselves sober because caffeine is a mind-altering drug. So like,
sugar
where's
and all
the where's the end in it type of thing? I kind of see myself as, I cut something out, and like, that's something that I feel like is bettering my life. And I'm over, like, I'm close to 650 days hard alcohol free, and that's something that I'm absolutely proud of. Like I
Yeah,
said,
of course.
Yeah.
40,
You're
50
0
Jagger
days
months, man.
from being a liar, though.
Yeah.
Oh my
These fucking
God.
shirts.
Stop.
I'm just kidding.
I'll send you guys some shirts
No, I'm just
with a
fucking
Smirnoff
with
Ice. That's actually how my cousin asked me to be his best man.
Oh,
He
really?
iced me, and it had a specific label that was like, "I got down on one knee. Now it's your turn." Will you be
Oh,
my
I
best
love
man?"
that. I love that.
Yeah, fuck him. You know what happened? During my speech, I iced him.
Amazing.
Yeah, his
Classic.
wife helped me too. It was great.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Well-
I did have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, do you? Okay, so one of the questions I had is like with your recognition that you get from social media, do you ever have people walk into the bar and maybe they're not a regular or something, but they're more like, I don't want to be here because you're gonna film a reel and I don't want to be in it. Like, do you ever get people like that?
I'm very, very conscious of how I film and who I film and what I film. Nobody is ever on my page if they don't want to be.
Right.
And there have been times where, like, you know, people have been like, "Did you get me in that?" And I'm like, "No." Like, you know, and if I do, like, I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna redo it and I'm gonna cut, you know, do this," because even though technically, at least in Wisconsin, you can post something on the front door that says, "Hey, this establishment is filming, doing this, blah blah blah," and if you walk through that door, you give consent technically to be filmed. But it's also like, for me, like, that's just a cheap cop out. Like, there are times where, you know, people are like, "Oh, why don't you go live and you're bartending and stuff like that?" And it's just like, there's too many variables. Like, even people, like, you know, being heard on camera, you know, like if they're saying something sensitive or whatever, like they're talking about, you know, their mom who has cancer and like nobody knows, like, you know, those are variables that I don't want to deal with. So that's why I do a lot of stuff before or after the bar.
Yep.
And like, you know, there are a lot of things where like I don't pressure like my friends to like be in the videos with me or whatnot. I always give them an option of like, "Hey, if you want to be, you do this," or also like, if you just want to hold the camera, I'll play both sides of it, you know. And, you know, for the most part, it's, you know, you have to give people that option, especially like with me, like making money off of that stuff. Like I'm not just gonna be like, "Oh, hey, like, you know, come let me make money off of you."
Right.
Right.
To me, that just doesn't sound right. And, you know, there are some times where, you know, I've had falling outs with people, and you know, I try to scrub them from my social media because, like, that, you know, I still make money off of that stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, I need to get rid of that stuff because I don't really align with, you know, I don't want that person in my life. I don't want to be making money off of that person's face in any way, shape, or form sometimes.
Are you doing that because you're afraid that they would like come back at you and say like you were making money?
Yeah, I mean, you can afterwards pull your consent from a video, even if you say like, you know, "Oh yeah, this is cool," and you do it with me. A week later, you can be like, "Hey, you need to take that video down." Technically, I would need to take that video down. Wisconsin law says that, like, you know, it's you can reject your consent too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine with me. It is what it is. I, again, like, don't want to make money off of somebody, you know, in a bad or negative way.
Yeah.
I've never done that on purpose or intentionally. And it's not something that I want to do or be, you know.
Yeah.
I want the people that want to be there and want to be with me in my camp, and I want to do stuff with those people. And, you know, it's just, that's who I am, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for happy hour?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of like our mental health Monday a little bit. It's our happy hour.
Yeah.
Where we talk about like the positive and the highlights of bartending in the service industry.
I want to talk about like seeing our friends grow, and not only like our friends grow in the bar industry, but also our owners. There's a lot of local bars that are owned around here, and just seeing like not only my friend, but the owner of the establishment that I work at get another place, because they've been wanting to get another place, and they actually officially found something that they wanted to have a different establishment at. I'm really excited for them, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. And it's just nice to see people grow in that aspect, but also like bring other people that they've already had work for them for a really long time, have them come and work at a different place as well. So I really like seeing my friends grow and becoming more than what they already have, but they can actually like have other, because what we are about at Tony C's is like, making new friends and things like that. So like hopefully we can still have that same concept and move it over to something else. But yeah, no, I think having coworkers, friends become a manager, a GM at other places, or owning their own bar and restaurant is really cool and interesting to see, because we can learn from that and know what kind of obstacles they go through and things like that too. So especially with being downtown, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that is my happy hour, is seeing people grow and flourish in this industry.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can't follow that. That's
that's a really good one.
That's beautiful.
You should have gone last. You're about to make me cry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I mean, it's
What's
cool.
the name and
No, that is
location and
awesome.
social security number of everybody involved in that?
I wish I could tell you that, but I don't say those things. But like, I mean, it's kind of like with us, like we're bartenders, and then we have this podcast. It's not a silly little podcast. It's actually a very cool podcast.
Well, according to our most recent thumbnail, it is a tiny little silly little podcast.
But I mean, like, it's cool to watch us grow and watch everyone else around us grow.
Exciting.
Like, like Matty, like you've grown from doing things with your friends. As you have them do the videos with you and things like that, and you had those bars that had to close down, and then you went other places, and then you also, your friend Liz, you followed her, and you guys worked together and things like that. It's just nice to see all of us grow in this little world of bartending, and it's all related.
You
to
guys
us
doing
too
your
as
first
well.
road show like that?
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
People
So,
growing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of
My
that,
first time in Iowa.
Yeah,
dude, that is actually crazy. Okay, but speaking of that though, we also have a surprise for you. Okay, we signed you up for Thunder Gun 2 to be an actor in it.
Are we playing a cruel joke?
I'm just
right
kidding.
now?
No,
That's
it's
so
it's
mean.
from it was an It's
What
Always
is
Sunny.
Thunder
It was an
Gun
It's
2?
Always Sunny joke. I was my mind, whatever. Jaden's dumb ideas.
Did you
But
ruin that joke?
was
Yeah.
Okay, but
Well, I had to stop it before it got too
behind
far,
you.
and he's
The-
like, "Wait."
no Thunder Gun Express too. It's gonna be great. No, but I was
Maddie's
thinking
gotta
too
hang
with.
dong.
With you, sorry, it was dumb. My brain, I don't know what I was thinking. But the
You and ideas.
what made me think of that was like how you were talking about people grow. It was like, it would be like super cool to like eventually see you in a movie someday, and
Yeah.
like so that's where I was like, surprise,
I
we
agree.
signed you
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
Yeah, so like, that is my thought process there. That was really dumb of me to say, but okay. Anyways,
What's your happy hour topic then? Since you're
I don't think I was next. I
Oh
think
my
I
God,
was.
I feel like you wrapped it up very well. I don't think we should.
Nobody
say
else does a
anymore.
happy hour.
I have one.
What is it,
Okay,
Michael?
say it.
All right.
A
God?
really cool local bar that actually sponsored this podcast.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Yes.
They hired little old me. All I did, I just asked very politely. I said, "Hey, would you mind? Like, are you looking for a bartender?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely. Come on in." So now I get to come in here and work every time they feel like having me in. So I'm very excited about
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Employment for the downtrodden.
Yes.
Happy hour for me.
And thank you, Regal Beagle,
Shout
for
out,
sponsoring.
Regal
Yes,
Beagle.
thank you so much.
Sponsoring this whole episode and just allowing us to do all this and take up all your space and move all your shit around. Yeah, it's super awesome.
Do you guys have anything for happy hour?
No, I feel like I
Maddie?
soiled.
I got
I
one.
ruined my happy hour.
Yeah, with that joke, actually.
Stupid dick.
No, just kind of combining, with what we're doing here, and also, the text message that I got today with collaborating with Herd Card Game and Chandler to go down to Tales of the Cocktail and have a guest shift down there, but also coming here with you guys. My happy hour would probably just be like, being thankful for the networking that is and has been happening in the past few weeks in my life, I've had a guest bartending shift down at Forgotten Tonic in St. Augustine. And then I had a guest bartending shift in West Dallas at Brass Boards Den. Then coming here and then finding out about Tales. There's a lot of collaboration with me and a bunch of other people, like-minded people, different avenues, not necessarily just bartending, podcasting, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And getting to see new places and new things and meet and network with new people it would be my happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Can you touch
That's a solid one.
Can you touch on Tales of the Cocktail a little bit? I'm fairly familiar with it. I call it the Grammys for bartenders. It's the coolest freaking thing in the whole wide world, and I would like us to be there one day. I would love for if we all made a trip down there to participate, shoot episodes, do anything like that.
So you might have more knowledge on this than me because this is my first time ever going. I've never gone before. I have no idea what to expect. It's basically 50,000 bartenders descend on New Orleans in the middle of the summer, and there's a bunch of competitions and conventions and networking that goes on and classes and things like that where you go and you just kind of be in the industry and do stuff like that. So for me, my thing is I'm not technically involved with any of the Tales stuff. I'm just going to be around all those people and just network for the first year and see what it's about, and then hang out and kind of maybe go back next year, maybe do some Tales stuff. But my favorite thing also is if there is a big convention like that, a lot of it gets commercialized and it's it's just a bunch of brands jumping in now. We have this thing called Summerfest where it was awesome. It was a really affordable, nice 5-day concert with in Milwaukee, and then now it's just they have these huge bands and it's fucking $400 to get in. It turned into basically Milwaukee's Coachella.
Yeah.
And I'm or Lollapalooza, things like that, where I'm just it's too much, so I kind of want to go in the first year of Tales and just check it out and see if if it's something I want to do and invest in, and also with my background, it's Tales of the Cocktail, not Tales of the Shot and Beer. So,
Right.
I don't know if I would have anything to add to the cocktail side.
With that, have you done fancy drinks and cocktails and stuff like that, in the industry?
I can make you a martini. I can make you a Wisconsin old fashioned fireball sweet with 2 olives,
which is actually our soup of the day.
You kind of told me a little bit last night about how you had gone down to St. Augustine and one of your buddies did your version of some dive bar cocktails. Can you touch on that? That sounded fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah. So basically, my friend Brandon, I met him when I was doing the Herd House back in 2024, where we did kind of a bunch of pop-ups down in San Antonio with the card game with Chandler, and we hit it off real well. So this year, I was, we're friends on Instagram now, and we were talking about he was I should get you down to my bar. You've never been to St. Augustine, come hang out and do this. And I was like, ooh, your bar's super fucking fancy. They make it takes them 10 minutes to make this beautiful $25 cocktail. I'm which if that's your jam, absolutely, please do that. But I'm I don't know, how does my dive bar bartender ass work at your bar, and how do we make it a thing, make it an event, And he was all right, it's gonna be me and you bartending. You'll have a Jack and Coke, you'll have a vodka soda, you'll have a ranch water, and you'll have a PBR and a shot of Fernet. Those are your 4 drinks. And then he made 4 really fancy versions of those drinks, where one of them, it was a PBR reduction with a Fernet thing on top, a Fernet floater, some crazy stuff like that. There was his Jack and Coke was this foam. It was a foam Jack Daniels like sorbet on top or like something. It was wild. Like him and his bar manager Nick were literally prepping for like a week, and like even like before the event they got there at like 2 p.m. for an 8 p.m. start, and we're just prepping these cocktails, and I'm just like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, the cocktail menu too was like just hilarious because it was just like Jack and Coke, just like couple words, and then the description for his was a paragraph right underneath.
Yep.
I'm just like, and they leaned into it. They were like, we want to make this as pretentious as possible, because that's how it works. Like, you know, like for me, I'm a dive bar bartender. Like for him, he is a, you know, craft cocktail bartender, and it's completely fine. We're just making money just through different avenues. But like, how do we mesh this into like one thing? And that was really fun to go and do, and like actually watch him like make these cocktails. Like I was like, I could never. Like it's like watching somebody draw. Like my brother is one of the best artists I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm like, here's a stick figure, dude.
That's funny.
Classic.
Do we have anything to vent about?
Yeah,
Douche
I
of
got a
the-
douche of the week.
Douche
Yeah, that
of
fucking
the
train.
week.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm really
Vent about
sorry
that
that,
train.
this keeps happening
I
to
do
you on
feel
your
bad.
trip.
Oh my god, I know
We'll have-
exactly the train that you were talking
We
about.
gotta put the video
was
of
so
you
fucking funny.
waking up to the train
Yeah.
in this episode.
Here, play it over the thing.
This is awful.
So Maddie's staying at an Airbnb, and he gets to listen to the downtown train go by at 3 a.m. and then at 8:30 a.m. Right?
Holy shit.
That's actually so.
That sounds like you're right next to it. That sounds like you're standing.
It
next
sounds like I'm right next to it because I
Blame
am.
him.
It's outside my window.
So
There's a-
I suggested
There
plenty of
are
other
3
places.
dumpsters,
So what you're
a
saying
parking
is that
lot, and then the train.
Yep. So
I
you're
picked
telling
that Airbnb.
Yeah. So you're
and
telling me
Jaydn
that.
confirmed.
Wait,
No,
so
no,
you picked
he
the
picked it.
Airbnb?
I paid for it
It's in,
with
a,
the thing.
it's in,
We
it's in
paid
the
for it.
East
We
Village,
paid for it, but
though.
I
It's
used
so
my card.
cute. It's walkable.
It's adorable. It's great.
Regardless-
I am not ungrateful, but yeah,
But
that
love
would
that
be-
train.
Yeah, Michael's the douche of the week for finding that Airbnb.
That's a solid douche of the week to have.
only for 3 minutes at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh,
I'm still up
man.
at 3 in the morning when it went
Right.
off. You know,
Yeah.
Still
last
kind of a
night.
win though. Still kind of a win. I mean, I was
It's
pretty solid location. Great
It's so
Airbnb.
funny to me.
And that's also 2 minutes. Like the one in Cincinnati where I had construction outside my window. That was 6 in the morning until
Oh,
I
damn,
fucking
no.
got up.
yeah.
Like,
Does it say in the description that the train might go by at these times?
I didn't see
no
anything
way.
for it. When we were booking all of this, we were like, the whole time we were talking about it, like, we got to give him like a really good experience here, you know, like we want to like really show him off, like show off the town to him and do all that, and then we get you a fucking
Jaydn was like-
Airbnb across the street from a train.
Jaydn was like, let's find him a cheaper hotel, or he can just crash in my bed with me.
Oh my God.
I did say potentially you could sleep at the house in the bed with
I'd
me,
hang
but
out.
like other than that,
we were all gonna pile into Jaydn's bed. It's gonna be
yeah,
fun.
no. I have another spare bedroom, but then even last night I was thinking about it. I was like, that would be super fucking weird if we like paid for your flight out here, paid for your trip, and then got like you to just
But you
stay
gotta
at my
stay
house.
in my bedroom. Nope.
You
Absolutely
gotta
not.
stay right here
No.
with me.
I stayed with my friend Brandon in St. Augustine. Like, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
not saying that's an option, but you know, there have been times. I also like, you know, I go down to Kentucky and like, you know, there are times like I go down to Louisville and my aunt lives there and she has a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
So I stay there. Like, you know, it's just, if it works out, like absolutely.
Well, we just wanted
yeah.
to take care of you so you were comfortable and were able to have a good time and everything and close to all the amenities, but we obviously fucked up with the with the
The
train.
No, it was
train.
really close too, because like, you know, you guys took me home and like I sat there for like a half hour, watched some cops, and was like, I'm wide awake. Fuck it. It's 12:30, so I was like, and the bars don't close till 2 here, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go back out. I walked 2 blocks and I was right back where we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
what
just
we
cool.
wanted was because we figured you would roam.
Yeah,
you
go on
just,
your own
like-
little
I'm
adventure.
I'm a roamer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, before this episode, I was just like, I'll be back, guys.
Yeah.
Walked over, did a rip and dip over at the
Barntown
brewery.
right over
Yeah.
here. That's a good one.
Yeah.
They got a good spot over there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell you my douche for the week.
All right, tell us your douche of the week.
Okay, so I was working one night, and this guy was telling me how he was getting ready to go to Tennessee. So, like, he was leaving in the morning, whatever. And he was getting a little loaded, which is fine. And this girl walks in with her friend and her friend's boyfriend, and they sit down in his friend's spot. Well, his friend went to go smoke a cigarette, and he obviously like was talking to people outside, and he was getting upset that she sat down in his spot. And I was like, it's okay. I go, they're just getting orange pills, it's fine. Like, they're gonna leave, they're just doing shots and then they're gonna go. And he was like, I'll tell you in a second. So he's like mimicking her because she's like, it's okay. And then he's like, yeah, it's okay. And I just looked at him and I was like, okay, all right, we don't need to be doing that. Like, they're literally going to leave. It's not that big of a deal. It's a fucking chair. They're going to leave. Your friend is out smoking a cigarette. Let's not make a big deal out of it. And he keeps doing it. And this girl looks at me and she goes, I'm going to throw my drink on him. And I looked at her. I go, honestly, he deserves it. So I kind of antagonized this, right? I kind of was like, yeah, he definitely deserves it. And so he kept going and going, and I was like trying to tell him to shut his mouth, and this girl turns and looks at him and just throws her orange peel all over him, and he grabs his beer, pours it on her hair, which she had beautiful hair extensions in her hair, and she turns, grabs the beer bottle, and no, it wasn't a beer bottle, it was her bomb glass, and smacks him in the face with it. Like, literally throws it at him. And I'm just like, all of this is in the span of me being there for only 30 minutes. And I call this the window of 30 minutes bullshit, either in the beginning or it happens at the end. And this is my bullshit 30 minutes. Yeah. And I just looked at the both of them. I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. I know you're leaving. I'm so sorry about your hair. Here's a towel. And I looked at the guy and go, get the fuck out. And don't let the door hit you on the way out. And some big guy came in. He's like, where's your security guard? I go, he's not here yet. And then, so like, they just escorted him out. And his friend was like, where's my friend at? I go, oh, well, your friend decided to throw a beer on a lady and mimic her and just be a complete douchebag. And so I had to kick him out. And he's like, okay. So then his friend got to stay. But I felt so bad for the girl because he just kept going on and on and on about how she was sitting in his friend's chair. But his friend was out smoking a cigarette. Like, it's a chair. It's okay. They're going to leave. They're just doing a shot. So, yeah.
I always say it. People are always looking for a fight at the bar.
Yeah, but this guy literally was fighting with a girl. Like, you were gonna go and fight with this girl for what reason? Like, why? Because you couldn't hit on her, or like what? Because she was sitting in your friend's chair? Come on, guy.
Yeah.
Like, we are all
Or-
here to have a good
yeah.
time, not to deal with that shit.
Or if
So-
it was another guy, he just would have sulked until the guy left. And
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So like,
he just wanted
Exactly.
to feel intimidating.
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, so he's not allowed back into the bar for a couple of months until he decides that he's gonna apologize to that girl because he actually knew her.
He's 7 years
Good
old.
old
What a
man.
loser.
Yeah, yeah. So that was my douche of the week, but I just couldn't believe it. Like, it's when you've been bartending for as long as we have, we always have that 30-minute mark when we start our night. We have 30 minutes. Like, it's either going to be really, really like easygoing, or it's going to be super crazy, or some stupid bullshit happens. Well, that was my 30 minutes of bullshit. 9 times out of 10, it happens at night before I close. But yeah, that was my douche of the week.
That's a good one. That's exciting.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah.
couldn't believe that happened.
Alec?
I have a douche of the week.
Go for it.
It's technically 2 douches of 1 week.
Okay.
Nice.
So I've mentioned this guy before, but basically we had a dude banned for, it was a slow night. He came into the bathroom, pissed all over the place. The owner was there, saw it happen as it happened, basically, kicked him out, told him to never come back. All right, so this guy comes in again recently, but he's with another friend, and there's like this guy looks like 2 other people that have come in on busier nights. So like, I wasn't 100% it was him, you know? And so he comes in with a person that I know. And I was like, to my friend, I was like, hey, he can't be in here. He pissed all over our bathroom. Like, he's not allowed to be in here. And then the dude was like, it's not me. It's not me. And then my friend that I've known, well, he's like an acquaintance that I've known for a while, was like, it's not him. He doesn't even drink. Like, it's not him. And I was like, okay, like, I'm pretty sure it's him, but like, I'm going to take your word for it this time, right? So the dude that I was accusing of doing that leaves, right? The friend stays. And then the friend's like, it has to be him, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the guy that pissed on the floor, like, it has to be him. And I was like, dude, you just told me that it wasn't him. Now I'm confused. And he was like, well, I don't know. I don't know that guy very well. And I was like, then what are you doing defending him?
Yeah.
Don't
anyways?
vouch for something.
So,
like,
so literally I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So that happens. The dude doesn't come back in. But then the next night, I work the next night, right? He comes in and he's with 3 girls this time, right? He comes up to the bar, I'm bartending, and he's like, what's up, dude? And I'm like, you can't be in here. And I'm like adamant about it this time because the dude told me, he's like, it has to be him, right? Like, who else would it be? And I was like, okay, whatever. So I tell this dude, I'm like, you can't be in here. And he's like, what? No, I talked to the owner just the other day. I was like, no, that was me. I was here. You don't even remember that. Like, you're not allowed to be here. And then the girls, all the 3 girls were like, what? Why? And I was like, I will gladly tell you why he's not in here. He pissed all over our bathroom and then refused, like, pretended to be that it wasn't him. And our owner looked him in the eyes and said, you are never allowed back here. That's why he's not allowed to be here. And then the girls were like, and the dude, I just saw the dude, like, just the fear in his eyes was just like, dude, no, it's not me. Like, I talked to the guy. I was like, nope, dude, you gotta leave. Sorry. And then I think what might have happened is I think that they just went upstairs and were served up there. That's what I think is what happened. But I was like, because I was busy, I was this close from going up there and being like, this guy is not allowed in this bar. But I didn't do it because I was busy, but I almost fucking did.
Damn.
But yeah, that's the douche of the week, is that the dude tried to come in and then lie to me. Yeah. Dude. I will never forget his face now. He made it for sure. And he was still like adamant about, like, it's not me. So I haven't seen another dude that looks like him since, but
Damn.
I don't know.
Golden shower boy.
I'm pretty sure it's him, dude.
You're banned.
And that dude was always a dick too. Like, I've just never liked that guy. He's just never been a good patron. He doesn't ever tip. He pisses on the floor everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
terrible.
Well, mine's related to piss also, and maybe it's the
great.
same guy.
Great.
The toilet brush and brush holder in our bathroom downstairs the other night, just full of piss.
In the women's bathroom?
No,
Oh.
it was the men's bathroom, but there's just like a little puddle, like full of piss in the brush holder, and I'm like, someone intentionally fucking aimed there and like filled that full of piss.
It's not funny.
It's so
not
gross.
funny.
So gross. It's so inconsiderate. I hate it.
I don't know. I have no remorse. I would, dude, if I could,
wouldn't
I would
keep a
make
toilet
them
scrub
clean
in
it
the
up.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah.
I
And
wish it was like with your pets, like if they pee on the ground, you can just like rub their face
Oh
in it.
my
you know?
God.
I wish I could do that with humans.
I just wish I like knew who was doing it. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
So I don't know if you guys have gotten this before though, but I will stand by the fact that if they're gender neutral bathrooms are just always awful, like just like cleanliness wise. But if there are women's and men's, yeah, the men's consistently smells like pee. Sure, absolutely. But the women's bathrooms at every place that I've ever worked at have been 10 times more disgusting at the end of a night shift. 10 out of 10 times. Every single time I've gone. Like the club I worked at, it looked like a fucking war zone in that woman's bathroom. Like the amount of toilet paper that was like just fucking everywhere and stuck to the walls and just like, it was just wild. But like, it's always like, everybody's always just like, oh, the guy's bathroom smells like piss. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, fucking bathroom smells like pee sometimes, you know, but like, at least there's not, you know, fucking loads and loads and globs of toilet paper everywhere on the ceiling and shit like that.
Yeah.
It just, I feel like, I mean,
yeah.
at least where I work, I feel like those bathrooms are a free for all sometimes, and it's just like, how do you like? I get that like you're drinking and you're having fun, but like, how do you like? Do you do this in your own bathroom? Like the amount of things that people do. Like I've seen a full pint glass full of pee in a toilet before.
Yeah.
And I was the bar back, so I had to dig it out. Yeah.
Why?
Fuck
Yeah.
What?
that.
the
That's
fuck?
disgusting.
Very good time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
God.
a brewery. It was awesome because we also had this beer on tap called Limoncello. And it was really yellow.
Oh,
So
God.
I took a video of me with a glove and I took the piss covered thing out of there and I did that. But then I went back into the bathroom with the beer and just like propped it to where I was just like, cheers. And I drank it. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't
That's
post
hilarious.
that video. Did not post. That was just for my friends.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what a way to end this
Yeah.
podcast. Holy
Right.
shit.
Damn. Last call.
Yeah, last call. Do we
Anything
have
else
any
you wanna
last
add?
calls?
I don't have anything else.
Plug your socials.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to my sponsors, PBR Smirnoff. Yeah, first and foremost, thank you to all of you guys for bringing me out here. Regal Beagle, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Really
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it. It's been wonderful. If you guys are ever in Des Moines, Iowa, please stop by, say hi to everybody, and come check out the Regal Beagle. My social media is just my name, the real Matty Rangel. Or the real Matty R. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans. No, I do have what are those things? The cameos. I have
Okay.
cameos.
fun.
Nobody's ever asked me for a cameo yet. But yeah,
We'll get a cameo
Yeah.
from you. We'll get a
Write that
cameo
down.
from you for sure.
I appreciate you guys having me on. And,
Hell yeah.
yeah, thanks for the opportunity. It's been fun.
Dude,
other than the train.
Yeah. We're super happy to have you out here, man. We've been really excited for this for a while, so
Yeah.
it's been really cool. And we're about to get into our Patreon, so make sure you're subscribed on our Patreon, Poor People Podcast. We're about to do this with Mr. Cheeseburger.
Is he walking in right now?
No, but that does kind of look like Cheeseburger. I don't know who that guy is.
Cheeseburger took a nap and I accidentally woke him up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to get into our Patreon here with Cheeseburger Monday, and it's going to be a really fun episode. So make sure that you're subscribed to that, and make sure you subscribe to Poor People Podcast and like this video if you're watching it. All right. Let's do our sign off.
Yeah.
And I need to go to the bathroom so bad.
For richer
Or for
poor.
poor.
Thanks for watching Poor People.
Woo. I was like halfway through this episode, I had my sunglasses on the back of my head.